I died alone on Christmas morning with my daughter's last text message still glowing on my phone screen. Well, not literally, but the woman I used to be did. And as I sat there in that sterile hospital room, watching the machines beep while nurses avoided eye contact, I realized something that shattered me more than the stroke itself. My daughter wasn't coming. She was never coming. And the worst part? I had spent the last 30 years of my life making sure she wouldn't. Let me back up, because this isn't just a story about being abandoned. It's about how I abandoned myself first, and how that single choice, made in a moment of fear and pride when my daughter was just 7 years old, cost me everything. It's about the lie I told her that became the foundation of our entire relationship. And it's about the Christmas promise she made 5 years ago that I'm still clinging to, even though I now know the devastating truth about why she'll never keep it. My name is Margaret, and I'm 72 years old. I live in a one-bedroom apartment in Sheffield that smells like old tea and regret, and I haven't heard my daughter's voice in 5 years, 3 months, and 16 days. But I remember the exact moment I lost her, and it wasn't when she stopped calling. It was 32 years ago, on a Tuesday afternoon in March, when I made a choice that would poison every moment we had together after that. But before I tell you what I did, you need to understand what my daughter found in my attic last Christmas. Because that discovery didn't just explain why she disappeared. It revealed that everything she thought she knew about her childhood was a carefully constructed lie. I was 40 years old when my husband Daniel died. We'd been married for 15 years, and our daughter Emma was only 7. One moment he was laughing at the dinner table, telling Emma a ridiculous story about a talking penguin. He was a plumber, so obviously fictional, and the next moment he was clutching his chest, his face going gray. He died in the ambulance. Massive heart attack. He was 42. The months after were a blur of casseroles from neighbors, condolence cards I couldn't open, and Emma's constant questions about when Daddy was coming home. I didn't know how to explain that the person who made her laugh every single day had been erased from existence in the time it took to eat dinner. I was drowning. Daniel had been the breadwinner. My part-time library job barely covered groceries. The mortgage loomed like a mountain. Daniel's family had never approved of me, and they made it clear at the funeral that they somehow blamed me for his death. But I was managing. Barely. I picked up extra shifts, started cleaning houses on weekends, learned to stretch a pound until it screamed. Emma and I became a team against the world. I'd tuck her in every night and promise we'd be okay. Then Margaret, Daniel's mother, showed up with an offer that would change everything. She wanted to take Emma.
Not permanently, she said.
Just until I got back on my feet. She and Edward had money for the best schools, resources I couldn't provide. Emma could have writing lessons, piano, a proper education. I could rebuild my life. Then when I was stable, Emma could come home. I told her absolutely not. Emma was my daughter, and we were staying together. But that night, I couldn't sleep. The mortgage was 3 months behind. The electricity had been shut off twice. Emma's shoes had holes in them. I'd been watering down the milk. I'd started skipping meals so Emma could eat more. I kept thinking about Margaret's enormous home with its fully stocked kitchen. I kept thinking about Emma's face when I told her we couldn't afford the school trip, the birthday party, the things that would make her feel normal. But here's the thing I didn't tell anyone. I wasn't just worried about providing for Emma. I was terrified that I was going to lose myself completely in the process of trying. I was 40, widowed, broke, exhausted to my bones. And in my darkest moments, I felt something terrible. Resentment. Resentment that I was trapped, that Emma's needs were drowning me, that everyone expected me to sacrifice everything while barely surviving. So I made a choice. I called Margaret back and told her yes. But I didn't tell Emma the truth. I couldn't bear the betrayal in her eyes. Couldn't bear for her to know her own mother was giving her away.
So elite.
I told Emma that Grandma and Grandpa had invited her for an extended holiday, a few months of fun while Mummy sorted things out. I made it sound like a gift, not an abandonment. Emma cried when I dropped her off. She clung to my neck and begged me not to leave. She said she didn't care about writing lessons or big houses. She just wanted to stay with me. And I peeled her little fingers off my coat, kissed her forehead, and promised I'd come get her soon. I drove away with her screams echoing in my ears and told myself I was doing the right thing. But the few months I'd promised turned into 6, then a year, then 2. And by the time Emma was 10, I'd built an entire new life that didn't have room for her anymore. I'd gotten a better job at a law firm. I'd moved to Manchester, 2 hours away. I'd started dating, going out with friends, rediscovering who I'd been before motherhood consumed me. For the first time since Daniel died, I could breathe.
And Emma?
She was thriving. Friends, excellent grades, piano recitals. She looked happy in the photos Margaret sent. So I told myself she was better off. That bringing her back would be selfish, would disrupt her stability. I reduced my visits to once a month, then every 2 months. I always had a reason: work, illness, car trouble, bad weather. Margaret never complained. She seemed pleased to have Emma to herself. By the time Emma was 13, I was seeing her maybe 4 times a year. Each time, she seemed more distant, more like Margaret's daughter than mine. She'd correct my grammar the way Margaret did. She'd make subtle comments about my clothes, my job, observations that sounded rehearsed. She'd started calling Margaret Mum and me Margaret. The worst part was that I felt relieved. Relieved she didn't need me desperately anymore. I got engaged when Emma was 15 to a solicitor named Robert. I didn't tell Emma until after I'd said yes. When I mentioned it during a visit, she just stared at me with flat eyes and said, "That's nice, Margaret. I hope you'll be very happy." Not Mum, Margaret. We had a small wedding. Emma came, wore a dress Margaret bought, sat with her grandparents, and left immediately after. She was polite, distant, and when I hugged her goodbye, her body was rigid as stone. But here's what broke me years later. Emma had been keeping a journal that entire time, and in it, she'd written down every single lie I'd told, every broken promise, every excuse. She'd been documenting my abandonment with meticulous detail. Years passed in strange equilibrium. Emma grew up at Margaret's. I built a life with Robert. We existed in each other's orbits, but never quite touched. Emma went to university in London, brilliant grades, full scholarship, studying law. I was proud, sent cards and money, visited once or twice a year. She was polite when we met.
Cold but polite.
We'd have lunch, make small talk, then she'd leave early. I told myself this was normal, that we'd reconnect when she was older. Robert died when I was 65. Cancer, quick and vicious. I was a widow again, older and more alone. I reached out to Emma more. She'd answer calls occasionally, visit once or twice a year, but the distance remained. She'd built a successful career as a solicitor in London, a life that seemed complete without me. Then, 5 years ago, everything changed. It was December 20th. I was preparing for another Christmas alone when Emma called. "I'm coming home for Christmas," she said.
No greeting.
Her voice was strange, tight. My heart leapt. "Really? I'll make your favorite." "Not to your flat," she interrupted. "To Grandma and Grandpa's. They've invited me. I wanted you to know." The joy deflated.
Oh.
"I see. You should come," Emma said, something odd in her tone. Something challenging. "Grandma said you're welcome. Christmas Day, 2 o'clock. Don't be late." She hung up. I almost didn't go, but something in her voice nagged at me. So I went. Emma answered the door. She was 39, beautiful in a severe way, wearing cashmere that probably cost hundreds of pounds. She looked like she belonged there. She looked nothing like the 7-year-old who'd begged me not to leave. "Margaret," she said. "Not Mum." The afternoon was excruciating. Margaret and Edward, now in their 90s, doted on Emma. They showed me photos of her life I'd never seen, holidays, work functions, charity galas. Emma was polite to me, but warm with them. I was an outsider at the family I'd given away. But then Emma did something that made my blood run cold. She suggested we go through old photos in the attic. "I haven't been up there in years," Margaret said uncertainly. "I'd like to see them," Emma said firmly, looking at me. "I'd like Margaret to see them too. Our family history." The way she said my name sounded like an accusation. We climbed to the attic. Margaret and Edward stayed downstairs, too old for stairs. It was just Emma and me, surrounded by decades of memories. Emma pulled down a box labeled Emma, Childhood. She opened it methodically, pulling out school reports, drawings, photos. Then she found a large envelope. She opened it and pulled out a stack of letters. "Do you know what these are?" Her voice was eerily calm. I didn't. "These are letters I wrote you, starting when I was 7.
Dozens of them.
Dear Mummy, please come get me. I miss you. When are you coming? I'm trying to be good, so you'll want me back." Her voice cracked. "Do you know how many you responded to?" My throat closed.
3, she said.
3 letters in 6 years. All generic. "Doing well. Hope you're happy, love you." Like I was a distant pen pal. She pulled out another envelope with my name in Margaret's handwriting. "And these are letters Margaret wrote you. Did you know she begged you to take me back? Multiple times? She wrote that I cried myself to sleep asking for you. That I'd started having nightmares, stopped eating, was seeing a therapist for abandonment issues. She asked you to please come back for me. Do you remember these?" I did. Vaguely. I'd felt annoyed that Margaret was trying to guilt me. But what Emma showed me next revealed the devastating truth. Margaret hadn't been documenting my abandonment. She'd been trying to save Emma from it. Emma pulled out a final envelope, sealed and thick. Her hands trembled. "I found this yesterday, hidden in the back. I think Grandma forgot it was here." She spread papers on a dusty table. Legal documents, custody papers, letters from Margaret's solicitor to mine. When Emma was 10, Margaret had tried to formally adopt her. She'd petitioned the court, citing my neglect and abandonment. My solicitor had responded with a vicious letter threatening legal action, asserting my parental rights. The petition was withdrawn. But there was another document, a settlement agreement. Margaret and Edward had offered to pay me £10,000 to sign over my parental rights, to let Emma be theirs legally. And I considered it. The correspondence showed I'd negotiated, asked for $15,000. We'd gone back and forth like I was selling a used car. In the end, I'd refused, not because I wanted Emma, but because Margaret had called me heartless, and my pride couldn't bear to prove her right. "You tried to sell me," Emma said, her voice hollow. "You literally put a price on me and negotiated like I was property. And the only reason you didn't was pride." The attic spun. Because she was right. Absolutely right. "I came here to give you one final chance," Emma whispered. "To tell me the truth. To explain. To show me that somewhere in you was the mother who promised we'd always be together."
But you can't even look at me.
I couldn't. Shame burned through me. "I'm leaving. I'm going back to London tonight. And I'm not coming back. Emma, please. One question. Just one. Why did you give me away? The real reason." And I could have saved everything. I could have been honest, vulnerable, human. I could have admitted my fear, my resentment, my selfishness. But instead, I protected myself with a lie. "I did it for you," I said. "Everything was for you. To give you the life you deserved. I sacrificed my happiness so you could have." The slap came so fast I didn't see it. My cheek exploded with pain. "Liar," Emma hissed. "You did it for yourself. Always. And you know what the saddest part is? If you'd just been honest, if you'd said I couldn't handle being your mother, I could have forgiven you eventually. But you had to make yourself the hero." She turned to leave, then paused. "I'll visit next Christmas," she said quietly. "I promise." Those words landed like stones. "I'll be here," I whispered. "I'll wait." She smiled sadly. "I know you will." But Emma never intended to keep that promise. She'd said it knowing exactly what it would do. Make me wait, make me hope, make me feel what she'd felt for 30 years. It was the cruelest gift she could have given me. That was 5 years ago. 5 Christmases have passed. Year 1, I prepared everything. Expensive gifts, her favorite foods, decorations. I waited by the phone all Christmas Day. She didn't call. Year 2, I told myself she'd been busy. I sent letters, emails, texts. Still waiting, darling. I'll be here. No response. Year 3, I panicked. I drove to her London address. She'd moved. I tried her workplace. She'd changed firms. I hired a private investigator. He found her in Bristol, doing well. I asked him not to make contact. If she wanted to be found, she wouldn't have disappeared. Year 4, Margaret died. 94, peaceful in her sleep. I went to the funeral hoping Emma would be there. She wasn't. Edward said she'd sent flowers, but couldn't attend. He had her number, but Emma made him promise not to give it to me. She said you'd understand why. She said you'd know you deserved it. I stood at Margaret's grave crying, not just for Margaret, but because the only person who'd loved Emma properly was gone, and I was still here, still useless. Year 5, this year, I had a stroke. Minor but scary. I was alone when it happened. Couldn't move properly. Couldn't speak clearly. 3 days in hospital. When I was released, I realized that if I died, no one would have known for days, maybe weeks. I tried to find Emma again.
Desperate.
The Bristol firm said she'd left 6 months ago. I searched social media obsessively, no presence. She'd erased herself from any part of the world that included me. I'm sitting in my flat now, 5 days before Christmas, finally understanding what Emma did. She gave me exactly what I'd given her. A promise that would never be kept. Hope that would slowly starve me. The experience of waiting for someone who is never coming back. She's not visiting this Christmas. Not any Christmas. That promise was her goodbye disguised as hope. It was perfect revenge, because I can't even be angry. I deserve every moment of this waiting. But here's the final truth. Emma's revenge was giving me what I'd always wanted, freedom from the responsibility of being her mother. By disappearing, she freed me from guilt, from obligation. She gave me exactly what I'd chosen when she was 7. The difference is now I understand what that freedom costs. Last week, I wrote Emma a letter. I sent it to Edward to keep safe for her. In it, I told the truth. All of it. That I'd resented her. That I'd chosen myself. That I'd been relieved to let her go. That every choice afterward was designed to protect myself from facing what I'd done. That I'd been a coward and a terrible mother. I told her she was right to disappear. Right to make me wait. Right to give me a taste of the abandonment I'd served her. I told her I finally understood, and that understanding came too late. I told her I was proud of her. That the woman she'd become, strong, successful, unwilling to tolerate my nonsense, was magnificent. That Margaret and Edward had actually raised her. That she owed me nothing. And I told her the one truth I'd never admitted. That I loved her, but my love had always been smaller than my fear, my selfishness, my need to be something other than her mother. I don't expect a response. I don't expect her to visit this Christmas, or any Christmas. Edward called 2 days ago. He'd spoken to Emma. He mentioned my letter. There was a long pause, then Emma said, "Keep it. I might read it someday. Just not yet."
Not yet.
Maybe that's all I deserve. Christmas is in 5 days. I won't prepare dinner. I won't buy gifts. I'll sit in my flat, maybe watch a film, maybe just sit in the dark. I'll think about Emma at 7, crying as I drove away. I'll think about Emma at 39, looking at me with eyes full of knowledge I'd tried to hide. And I'll think about her promise. I'll visit next Christmas.
I know it was a lie.
But I'll keep waiting anyway, because hope is the cruelest gift you can give someone you've already broken. And maybe that's what I taught her when I promised I'd come back for her soon. We become what we survive, and Emma survived me. She survived being unwanted, being given away, being a burden her mother couldn't carry. She survived and built a life without me. I should be happy for her, and I am, in the small, selfish way I'm capable of. But I'm also here alone, waiting for a daughter who's never coming back, understanding far too late that this is exactly what she felt for 30 years. The difference is, she was an innocent child who deserved better. And I'm the woman who taught her that promises mean nothing, that love is conditional, and that sometimes the people who are supposed to protect you are the ones you most need protection from. I'm still waiting, Emma. I'll always be waiting. Not because I think you're coming, but because it's the only way I know how to hold on to you now. Through the ghost of a promise I know you never meant to keep. And maybe that's the lesson I finally learned. The cruelest part of abandonment isn't being left. It's realizing you were the one who left first. If this story spoke to your heart, don't let it fade. Subscribe to The Silent Parents, where every emotion finds a home.